We all know that awkward question, don't we? It usually happens when we least expect it. Probably at a moment we really don't want to be explaining ourselves. Maybe at a party, a wedding, a family dinner, just living our life, feeling steady, and then someone looks over and says, "You're not drinking?" Or worse, "Why don't you drink?" And for a second, your heart might race maybe. Not because you don't have an answer, but because suddenly it feels like you owe an answer. But let's be clear, you don't. You don't owe anyone any explanation. But if you do want to say something that's true, kind, and rooted in who you are, then this moment now could be yours. As we take one day at a time, it makes it simpler to prepare for moments when we're tested like these. It keeps these moments in small pockets of focus. Easier, I find, to prepare for something like these questions. And in turn, making a decision to prepare for this and deal head on with this type of moment is a great confidence builder. Whereas in the past life, we may have buried our head in the sand, the confidence that we can gain and develop from deciding to stand firm and deciding to tackle what may appear today is powerful in recovery. It's a small success, yes, answering a question, although we feel it's a big question. But when it's attached to other small victories, it becomes a really powerful momentum and a new and strong belief system that our recovery begins to be fueled by. So maybe before the question even comes, try this, just make the decision that you're going to take a moment, just a quiet moment, and ask yourself, why don't I drink? What has sobriety given me that alcohol never could? What have I reclaimed? Just let that truth settle deep. Let it become yours. So you really, really understand that feeling in relation to somebody's curiosity. So that if they ask you, you're not scrambling around. You're already grounded. You understand. One of the things we should dismiss very early on in this situation is that it's not personal. This is a question that millions before us have been asked and millions after us will get asked. It's a curiosity. So you're not the only one that's faced this. And you don't have to figure it out alone. In fact, I've been reading through, as I was preparing this, some real life shares, some things that others have said. And we can easily put ourselves in their shoes when we hear these experiences, because they are the kind of things that we all tend to face. This person said, "At first I panicked every time someone asked me. I didn't want to make it weird. But then I realized it's just a question. I started saying, it's not for me anymore. And people moved on. That was enough." Now another one said here, "A friend once told me, you don't owe anyone a chapter of a book they haven't read. And that stuck with me. Now I just say, I feel better without it, and change the subject." And a third here said, "I used to lie, say I was driving or taking antibiotics, but one day I just said, I used to drink too much, I'm in recovery." And the guy replied, "Me too," and we talked for hours. I'm sure you have many examples yourself that you've been told or that you've gone through yourself. And these moments, they're real ones. They remind us that we're not weird, we're just honest, and we're not alone. And another key thing to remember is that we don't have to over-explain either. Sometimes we might feel that our life story is under inspection from other people, but that's not the case. It could just be a casual inquiry when they ask the question. We might read into that it's an interrogation or even mockery, and that's not the case. Just remember that. And even if that was the case, should we find ourselves in an interrogation or mocking situation, who cares? Our soul's grounded and our answer is final. So just prepare yourself, feel why you're where you are at in this moment just for today, and choose a response that fits you, that fits your energy, your mood, your moment. Maybe something simple and light. No thanks, I don't drink. Just water for me. I like remembering all night. Something playful or neutral. I had plenty in my past life, or I party better without a hangover. I drink boring things now, like peace and stability. Or you can be honest and calm about it. I'm in recovery. I had a rough relationship with alcohol, so I let it go. Sobriety is something I'm protecting just for me. Maybe if someone's a bit more pushy, then something firm but kind. I don't need alcohol to enjoy myself. It's just not part of my life anymore, and I'm really happy about that. I'm good. Really good, thanks. See, it's not about what we've given up. It's about what we've chosen. It's the power of choice. We didn't lose something when we banished alcohol. We chose clarity. We chose peace. We chose presence. And when someone asks, why don't you drink? You're not defending a decision. You're standing in your freedom. That's not a weakness. That's strength. Using affirmations can be really powerful too. Just for today, when you've just got to maneuver the day, and when you're looking at that day to get through just that day, but not make it so intense, so overwhelming, being overpowered by it. Doing a little rampage of affirmations can be really useful, just to ground yourself and create maybe a little bit of an internal determination that you're on the right track. Not that you're fighting anything, but you're just solidifying a little bit inside your soul and your bones what you're doing. Just saying things from the heart, out loud or quietly. I know why I don't drink. I know what I've survived. I know what alcohol stole from me. I know what sobriety has returned. I know that my peace is more precious than anyone's opinion. I know that I don't need to justify my freedom. I know that saying no is not weakness, it's power. I know that not everyone will understand, and that's okay. I know I don't drink because I want to live, because I am living, and no question from anyone will shake that truth. If this is something that you do want to prepare in your mind and have an outcome for, guided visualization is really good for helping be calm in the moment, preparing for something like that question before it arrives. You picture this. You're standing in a room full of people. Someone asks, why aren't you drinking? You breathe. You smile just slightly. You feel grounded in your truth. You understand the question. You understand the curiosity of the person before you. And you know you don't have to give your life story. You can pick a gentle answer. Maybe you say, just water for me. Maybe you say, I feel better without it. Maybe you just raise your glass and smile. There's no panic, no shame, and the moment moves on, and you stay rooted in your strength. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You do deserve support. You are worthy. And if you ever decide to share your story, do it on your terms, in your time, with people who listen with open hearts. Sobriety is not a secret, but it is sacred. And your reasons are yours, powerful, personal, and very real. So, the next time someone asks, why don't you drink? Remember, you already answered that a long time ago, and that answer led you to a better life. Maybe, just maybe today, your truth, your experience could become someone else's hope.